This is the Alternative Commentary Collective's Agenda podcast, live from the Export Beer Garden studio.
The Agenda, an Alternative Commentary Collective podcast.
G'day there, welcome along to the Agenda. Myself, G Lane, and Matt Heath, while James McOnie does a poo. But Matt Heath, what about the Fozzie news?
I'm not fucking leaving!
He's not leaving.
He's not leaving. It would have been such a clean kill if they'd lost that game at Ellis Park, wouldn't it? It would have been so easy. And they're like, oh my God, you've muddied the waters there, Fozzie Bear. And what a great win it was. And it flipped me on a dime. I was like, you know, if you can come back, that's the thing in sport, right? If you lose and you're going nowhere, if you pull it back, that's sport. That's why we love it. It's funny how people are saying stop being mean to Fozzie and stop being mean to New Zealand rugby. But at the same time, they ask us to be passionate. So there was like, being passionate fan, paint your face. It's like, that's what you get if you get passionate. If people care,
they're mean.
They care. They're mean. They're happy. They'll lift you up. They'll knock you down. That's what it is. The idea that they want us to be passionate, but we can't be mean if it's not going well. So we have to only be passionate on your terms in a positive way. Fuck off.
I know. Old Sam, the American Eagle, in the lineup there in the press conference yesterday, you know, the chairman. Yeah. Classic old fat white dude. Like Sam again was saying, he just kind of, everything was a little bit of a kind of a dig at the media and the fans for being mean.
What do you think? What do you think it is? Mean? What do you think the whole fucking thing? It is the media and the fans and how we want to treat you or how we want to behave. That is fucking up to us. You're lucky to have us. It's not like we're in a competitive environment now, right? In sport, right? It's not that thing where you just got the God-given gift that everyone in the country is going to care about rugby. That's just not the way it works anymore. You get a bit of passion, you'll be celebrating. I mean, do you think FIFA gets upset when people get overly passionate about the sport? Of course not. It just means people are talking about it. No one has cared more about a South African game, a game played on the other side of the planet for a very, very long time.
I have not got up in that hour of the day to watch a rugby game in about, I reckon, 20 years. I reckon it was university last time, and that was because I was still up because I was pinging off my head and came home and couldn't sleep anyway. Yeah. And would watch New Zealand play Wales and Cardiff. But
it's passion.
It's passion!
And that's what passion is, not just corporate ad sponsorship with somebody painting their face and going along and going through the motions of pretending to be passionate. It's not like... You know, look at it. I'm watching that Arsenal TV show. I'm watching the Arsenal TV show at the moment. That's passion, and that passion turns to vitriol, but it's passion, and they'll buy your fucking shirt, and they'll buy your tickets, and it'll sell out, but that's what passion is. Passion is passionate.
Do you reckon Manchester United, do you reckon at the moment their board has put a press conference together and said to the Man U fans who had the worst start to the Premier League, they lost to like Brentford 4-0, like the shittest team in the league. Do you think their board's going, hey, fans, pump the brakes, don't be so mean, okay? Yeah. Okay, we're trying our hardest. Okay? Yeah. They're not. They're like going, fuck, we've got to fix this. Otherwise, these motherfuckers are going to burn the place down.
Yeah, there's this idea, isn't it? It's, I guess you'd call it entitlement, that they are, I don't know, like they're our parents and we need to behave.
But Fozzie's our man now.
Yeah. But I fucking love him. That's the whole thing. We fucking will shit on him. Win a game, we fucking love him. That's the way it fucking works. We fucking love it. We love Fozzie Bear.
Let's just remind ourselves, let's listen to the end of that magnificent game on Sunday morning.
Over it goes. There goes the siren.
An air raid siren too.
And the All Blacks have silenced the critics. And they've won at Ellis Park.
How good is that air raid siren for a start? That is old school end of game. Not a hooter, nothing else. A good old fashioned air raid siren. And Matt Heath, for the last few years, watching the All Blacks win a game, they've almost been like relieved they've won. They're like, oh, thank fuck we won. But that game,
it meant something.
They're high-fiving. They were like good kind of beer hugging each other.
Oh, like, Sam Cane, the look on his face, brought a tear to my eye. He was so happy because it was adversity, and then they came back, and that's what we really freaking love.
And and also the question that Jeff Wilson was obviously said, you've got to ask Ian Foster. You've got to ask him the question: do you think you'll be coach against Argentina? You got to ask him, Goldie, and Goldie's obviously like, "Fuck, do I?" Yeah, you have to. And when he asked him, I don't know if you saw that.
I saw it.
He was holding. He was just about holding Fozzie's hand.
Yeah,
He had his hand on his arm, and almost squeezing it, going, "Sorry, mate, I'm going to have to ask."
He's still got the brush off by Fozzie. It's like, I don't know, mate. I'm just going to go celebrate this with it. So it's not up to me.
I'm going to have a beer anyway.
But you know what? As much as it's right now, Fozzie's back, and the knives have just been put away. They're still sharp.
Oh yeah. So
imagine if we lost the Bledisloe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
it's not looking very likely considering how much they got pumped by the Argentinians. But
look, with the Argentinians, they're leading the table right now, and we've got them next, and not this weekend, the weekend after.
Down at Orange Theory Stadium.
Yeah. And look, if we lost against England, if we get tripped up by Wales and we lose the Bledisloe, do the knives come out again? Do we start throwing them in the wall?
And then everyone's like, oh, well, you could have done it, but now there's not a big enough run-up to the
Who writes
cup.
the rules on a run-up?
Yeah, you don't need a run-up.
You get a new coaching staff in.
The second best game we played was when Fozzie had COVID and was coaching through Zoom.
Do you need to buy new scrum machines or something, or new practice pads? It's the coaching team, for fuck's sake. It's IP. Surely you can just change that out. Anyway,
it's an Airbus on autopilot, pretty much. It's run by the hostesses, the players.
Speaking of being mean, what's the meanest thing someone's ever said to you, Matt Heath?
I was once, I remember I was at high school and there was this girl I quite fancied, and she came up to me and she goes, I don't like the look of you. You always look wasted. I said, maybe I am wasted. She goes, yeah, you probably are.
Did you have a press conference and say all girls can't be mean to me?
I had sex with her in year 2 at university.
So the last laugh.
Yeah, the last laugh was on her. Yeah.
The meanest thing said to me.
So it was only mean. It was only a 5-year period of just heartbreak until and then I realised.
Yeah,
and then I worked out what she was doing.
Yeah, she actually did like you.
And also, I was fucking stoned. It was after lunch.
Oh, of course it was. Everyone knows at lunchtime in Dunedin.
Fucking stoned.
What is it?
So I don't need that kind of shit when I'm having to put my little shorts on and I'm fucking in the gym. You come up to me and say I look wasted when I am.
Meanest thing said to me, I didn't have a press conference about it, but I was batting probably number 9 in the Senior A cricket competition in Hamilton at Galloway Park. We were playing, I think we were playing Old Boys. Was it? Maybe university, I'm not sure. But it was school holidays, Matt Heath. I was 17 years old. I had a little bit of hair on my face, a little bit. I have more now, but I was attempting to grow a goatee at the time, a prison vagina at the time, and school holidays. And I came out to the crease and and we're playing adults. We're 17-year-olds. We're playing adults. These guys are in their 20s, 30s. And the keeper's in his mid-30s. And he just goes, look at you disgusting tail-end rapist. And I was like... firstly, there's a couple of things you've got right with that. I'm a tail ender, yes, got that.
Yep.
I've got it.
That's on the sheet, mate. That's on the sheet. That's a fact.
I'll take hairy because I'm 17. I'm trying to grow hair so I can get to a pub. I'll take that. But I'm going to take exception that you have come to the conclusion just because I'm hairy and I'm batting at the tail end that I'm a rapist. I was quite upset about that.
I mean, often true, but a huge assumption.
Oh, a huge assumption. So there was a good 5-minute break and play while I remonstrated with this 17-year-old remonstrated and said, "Look, I'm not a rapist."
But didn't you used to say to those older dudes, what are you doing here? We're forced to be here.
Yeah. Admittedly, we were the most hated team in the Senior A competition because, like you're saying, we used to go out there and we were made to play because we were at school. We had to play for the school team and we would just attack these guys. We were like, how sad is your life, guys? Like, we are made to do this. You obviously hate your family. You hate yourself so much that you spend 2 days playing Senior A Hamilton cricket against schoolboys. That is pretty low. And they'd go, you fucking little shits. And we'd go, hey. No, don't take your anger out on me, mate. You've obviously got some issues at life. And, you're probably broken up with your wife and you're probably paying for her and, you're paying for the kids. And they're like, you just go and shut the fuck up. I'm like, woo! So, we won the competition.
There's probably someone out there, if you ask them what was the meanest thing that was ever said to them, there was this little fucking Hamilton, actually, with this fucking sex offender moustache. Battling at the tail end, Senior A fucking cricket. Really hurt my feelings.
Galloway Park, steaming hot Galloway Park too. No wind, like just fucking hot. Hungover as fuck. Anyway. NPC.
Yes.
Matt Heath, the NPC, it's well underway. I think we're into our 4th round. Now, look, there has been a kerfuffle Can you say kerfuffle? Is it kerfuffle?
Kerfuffle?
Around the Seamanhof Stadium in
Filthy.
It's a great name.
Can we get the Seamanhof that stadium? It's written on the site.
No, the Seamanhof is well and truly ingrained in that stadium, and there were rumours that it was part of the wet and forget range to join Miss Muffet's Revenge.
Yeah, it was sort of a shower thing.
Shower Witch. It was replacing Shower Witch. More a Drano situation, just to get the semen off.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a transport logistics company in Northland and Whangarei, a very successful one. Stephen Seamanhof runs that. And he's supporting his local rugby club. So just to put that to bed.
Jesus, look at this groundsman. There's a big unit. Sorry, live cricket on at the moment.
Here's some great names from around the world, though, in terms of cricket names that we've been sent. Now, there is a club in Switzerland called the Young Boys.
The Young Boys Club.
It's called the Young Boys Club. And the stadium they play at, Matt Heath? You know.
Wankdorf Stadium. I mean, Switzerland, you're better than that. You can't.
The Young Boys
Club in the Wankdorf Stadium.
And then
Wankdorf. I know you've said you've got Wankdorf. We know, but we know you're actually saying Wankdorf.
And the Young Boys as well.
Yeah, I know.
Who know how to
Switzerland. Come on.
Yeah, you're better than that.
You're better than that.
And Middelfart Stadium.
Denmark. I'd expect more from Denmark. It always becomes up the top as the happiest country in the world. Apparently they've got an amazing system going over there. Tall people, beautiful people. Right. And then they ruin it all by running a Middelfart Stadium.
Out of Colorado, the Dick's Sporting Goods Park.
Yeah, I've already complained about this too. Yeah. When I was in Denver, I took it down to the town hall and made a complaint about that.
Well, the Colorado Rapids, that's where they play. It was originally they pitched Dick's Stadium, but that was vetoed, and they made them put Dick's Sporting Goods Park. So instead of just Dick's Stadium, they went no. You got to make it long. No. And the Mumbai obviously have the Wankhede Stadium on the waterfront.
What I find really interesting about this is commentators try and pronounce
Wahidi?
Yeah, pronounce it differently than native speakers to try and avoid it. Like they think, there's no shame on a language if in another language it comes up with something, but they're like Wang. They're like
Wahidi. No, they say Simon Dool and everyone else. They go Wahidi. And it's like, and then along comes Ravi Shastri, and he's like Wankhede.
Yeah,
it's Wankhede, mate.
Yeah.
It's like Whakawhita.
So they're willing to bastardize a language just so it doesn't sound rude in another language?
It's a great name. And more recently, and this made the news a little bit, was Southend United, a football team in the UK, got a sponsorship from a law firm, a law and accounting firm called Gilbert and Rose. Mm-hmm. And Gilbert and Rose, a successful Southend business, sponsored the West Stand.
Yeah.
And so their name got put all over the West Stand, and it was the Gilbert and Rose West Stand. Now, those of you who are familiar with mass murderers, Rose and Fred West were responsible for the murder of quite a number of young females in the UK, which they buried in their backyard and then concreted it over. She was a fucking terrible piece of work.
So it's the Gilbert and Rose West that murderer stadium.
Yeah. So they've had to, a simple fix, they've just had to get rid of the word West, and then it just becomes the Gilbert and Rose Stand. So, and just forget where it's located, just take the West off.
Yeah.
So there you go. So onto that, Matt. We've talked about this at length actually, because we were going to turn Victoria Park into a test ground.
Yeah.
And we lobbied council, and then they basically bored us to death with excuses, and we gave up. But I think it's almost back on the table, is getting cricket back into the centre of Auckland, and Victoria Park is the perfect location. Whatever anyone says, it's not Colin Maiden out in the fucking boondocks.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
It's not in Albany, for God's sake, and it is definitely not at Western Springs. Because if you think it's going to hard to get to, that's hard to get to. So Victoria Park, and I always wanted a gate named after me.
Oh yeah,
like a G Lane gate, almost like the G entrance.
Yeah,
something like that. Anything for you? Like any sort of stadium or gate or mound? McOnie Mound, I thought was quite good.
McOnie Mound. Yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know if I deserve it really. Whether I'd want to, when I want to name a stadium after myself, I'd probably, if I could name a stadium, probably call it Carisbrook, because that's up for grabs now.
What about Heath Hill? What if it's just a certain area of the ground renowned for people falling asleep in the sun and getting dangerously sunburnt?
Well, maybe, yeah. But can you imagine if you got that Victoria Park Stadium going again and they called it Carisbrook?
It would be controversial.
Because that name's going unused at the moment.
Well, we're going to call it the VIP, the Victoria International Park.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
See, that's a good one. But you could have Heath's Hill. Where that's where the sun burns all day, and you get the East Stand burn.
Oh man, if they could change the name of the East Stand to the East Stand Stadium or
East Stand burn.
East Stand burn. Yeah, the West End. The West End. They call the other end the West End.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
at
West
Eden
End.
Park.
Yeah,
the West End.
And
West
everyone
End.
who goes up there has to go west.
And or the West Bank.
Yeah, and just full of mines and
yeah. Make it a war zone.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, Matt, the ACC, the Alternative Commentary Collective, now has an online shop.
Shit
the bed.
The only place to get all the official ACC merch, from Steady the Ship hats to colander black flaps, and all new t-shirt range is available. Text SHOP, that's SHOP, to 3236 and spend away. Free shipping for all great New Zealanders.
Yeah, so just text SHOP to 3236. We'll send you the link. So you've got all the hats.
There's some good shit in there.
Yeah, we've got the Steady the Ship t-shirts. We've got a lovely Trenty t-shirts. We've got Believe in the Leaves. We've got a great Rambo Colin de Gronholm t-shirt.
I was clearing out the attic at my house, and I found all the t-shirts from the 2015 range, including the Milk of the Gypsy t-shirt.
There was some shocking... That 2015 World Cup, we had a fantastic relationship with a t-shirt company who would just produce any phrases we had, they produced them.
Yeah.
Like the Hairy Jav ones, where they had the Hairy Jav flying through the air with a couple of matchsticks.
Did we shift any Milk of the Gypsy t-shirts?
A lot.
There was it was a milk carton on it.
we shifted a lot of Air Vittories.
Oh, yeah.
And also a lot of the Brendan McCullum ones as well.
Yeah.
So we shifted a lot of those, but not a lot of the Milk of the Gypsies.
Yeah, so the Milk of the Gypsy t-shirts are not available in this all-new t-shirt range.
No. But head on there, have a look at it. Check, great for Father's
Do you know what I'm
Day.
really excited about? Because we haven't really had a chance to get the colander black flaps out, really.
No.
But coming into a summer where there's some actual games that people are actually allowed to go along to that won't be cancelled.
Yeah.
How exciting.
And Colin was also growing his mullet back, which is good, because we got 10,000 hats made with inbuilt mullets.
Yeah.
And he went to Bangladesh and he fucking shaved it.
Yeah. Which was
he was hot.
Is akin to sort of corporate fraud, really, or some kind of...
Did he consult us?
Insider trading.
Did he consult us?
No.
But he's growing it back. So also the black flap as well is in there. And when we launched it, this is not arranged for the New Zealand women's cricket team. No. It was just a coincidence that got released the same time. But it's great for sun protection, because the Dulux Steady the Ship hat is definitely... not. Right, let's get into some Wawas.
Yeah, what a start to the preseason. We announced the preseason last week, that the season was over for the Warriors and they were going straight into preseason, and it's a great start to the next year's tournament.
What a start. We drew a line under the season. The best preseason start the Warriors have ever had.
Thumping a full-strength Bulldogs. You know, this wasn't a preseason runaround team. Everyone was there, and they thumped them.
It was like the Bulldogs were treating it as an actual NRL game.
Oh, they were. They were taking it very seriously, and they got thumped.
Yeah, there was a rumour that the Bulldogs actually only trained once before that game, and that was the captain's run on the Thursday. So there was no surprise there that the Doggies got absolutely pounded. But they're back into it. Friday night again at 8 p.m. We've had a couple of good kickoffs, because you can get a good steam up after work, and then you could head home and throw shit at the TV at the Warriors, because they're playing the reverse Cowgirls in Australia.
Oh, how good.
So they're definitely not favourites on that one, paying about $6 to win there. But hey, they're on a little bit of a roll, the Wars. They can only seem to win at home.
Yeah.
But
everyone has a home team advantage, and they didn't have a home for the longest time, so you got to give the Wars a break. And so you're doing very well in this preseason. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to another good preseason match this week. The longest preseason ever is 2023. It's going to be their year. Cricky! There's a lot of cricky going on. Black Caps wrapped up the T20 series 2-1.
Yeah.
Chris Gale made an appearance in that last game.
Cool.
And what do you think happened then? What do you think happened after that game?
They went back to the Appletons mansion, I imagine, and ripped it up on the pole.
Did you notice just throwing it out there, a potential social media blackout from any of the Black Caps from the finish of that final T20 to when they landed in Barbados?
Not a thing was posted from anyone.
Yes.
Not a thing.
That's what I'm saying. It is tradition that Chris Gale hosts international teams.
And
at
in the
CG
first
Palace.
ODI didn't cover themselves in glory in the batting innings, and you could see there was quite a lot of pole burn. People were sort of running between the wickets like they had stripper pole burn.
And Lockie Ferguson, he's in the full arm-length shirt. It's not exactly cold over there, so there's probably a little bit of rope burn, maybe handcuff marks on Lockie Ferguson's. Can't confirm nor deny that. We're just throwing a bit of mud at the wall, and hoping something sticks. But in
Jamaica, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Oh, literally. So they're in Barbados now. Great place, Barbados. I did get mugged there before one of the World Cup finals. I did. Mugged. I didn't know I'd got mugged though. I was dangerously steamed in a bar, and then all of my wallet, everything was gone out of my pockets. They were very sneaky about it.
Yeah.
I did notice that everyone was being overly friendly with me and a mate of mine, and we worked out why. He woke up on the beach completely stripped of everything he had. And I kind of had nothing left on me either, and I woke up. At least I woke up in my bed. He woke up on the beach.
It's risky getting absolutely melon farmed in a foreign country, isn't it?
It is.
You don't know the rules.
We thought we were safe. We were in Courtney Ambrose's bar. His band was playing. We thought we were in a safe place, but they obviously saw a couple of easy targets, and we were, because we were dangerously steamed, fresh off a Virgin flight from London, which we'd been steaming on the whole way. We'd booked the flights, but we booked it during the semi-final when we were playing Sri Lanka, and we thought we were a shoo-in. So we ended up going to the final we didn't care about because it was Sri Lanka, Australia. So we came with an agenda.
Yeah.
We lived up to that agenda and not giving a shit about anything.
Were you on the rums?
Oh, yeah. Because
that's the thing. You sort of end up drinking the drink of the place you're at, but you might not really be up to it, if you know what I mean.
It was cheaper than anything else.
Yeah.
So you'd order the rum, and the Coke was more expensive than the rum. So they'd fill it up to the top just about with the rum, with ice, and then just give you a dash.
Did you get fighty?
Didn't get too fighty, got quite sleepy.
In Dunedin bars, when I was going through university, a lot of them didn't serve rum because of the fightiness that came through.
The brown spirit fighty.
Yeah, you get a bit fighty with all the shugs.
Well, the thing is, there was a party stand there, which we had tickets to, $100 US to get into the party stand. All you can drink rum all day. And, best thing, lunchtime.
I mean, how much rum can you drink? All you can drink rum. You can't drink that much.
No, you have to hit the beers after a while. And it was that final Australia-Sri Lanka where it got dark and they basically had to turn all the corporate box lights on to light the field, and it was a shambles. But the best ever corporate hospitality in the party stand, KFC.
Oh!
They'd come in with wheelbarrows of quarter packs and just throw them into the stand. And you're just like, after about 1,000 rums, you're just like, blah, blah, blah. You're like Ian Smith going down on someone with a box of KFC. It was disgusting, but...
what did they say, a rum deal when you get a bad deal? That was a bit of a rum deal.
Is it a bum deal?
Oh, is it a bum deal?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that guy's a bit rum. There's something about it. Anyway, don't worry.
Anyway, so the current ODI is underway in Barbados as we're recording this podcast in New Zealand.
It's been rained out briefly.
Briefly rained out. The weather's not good, but see, that's where the party stand was.
Is this the very ground?
Yeah, it is the very ground in Barbados. See that big stand at the far end? Down to the right was the party stand. And it was loose, man, like fucking loose. I'm telling you, that was basically it was like a Dunedin flat. They just fenced it off and they threw booze into it and just walked away. And they walked away and you could do whatever you wanted. It was like no rules. It was sensational.
Shit, that sounds good.
So yeah, New Zealand all out for 190 in their first innings in this game, and West Indies 6 without loss in the first over. So I got $100 on New Zealand. So kind of hoping they come through here, but the pitch looks a bit. It's taken some turn. That's what I'm going to say. Taken some turn. So, white on of the week, Matt. What gave you a white on of this week?
You're going to be annoyed about this.
Oh, God.
You're going to be annoyed.
It's baseball.
Actually, I won't actually go baseball this week, even though it has been giving me a white on the Dodgers. Yesterday's game, Jesus, we lost to the Brewers. And 10
Who loses to the Brewers?
Look.
Great name, though, the Brewers.
Yeah, I'd
play for the Brewers.
Yeah, great. I actually ordered a Brewers hat because I like the little hats. Brewers are actually my second favourite team.
Oh, okay, so that's right.
But, just the NFL preseason started, so I watched the Rams-Chargers game.
You're a big Ram. You're a Ramily,
I'm a bit of a Ramily. But it was pretty funny because I watched on the Game Pass app and they give you the full feed. It's not what's going onto the TV. Yeah. It's just the full feed. So you have the commentators talking They don't know. It's just coming through the whole time, so it's gone to ads. It's so good.
That's like NBA League Pass. It's the same. It's great.
Yeah, so it's like he's going, damn, can I get some cable here? I got fuck all cable up in this fucking... Damn, it's short. Hey, right, really good friend of Campbell in the cable. But there's a great thing. There was a giant. I don't know who he was because they put out... They don't put the stars out in pre-season because, there's no point in injuring, Matthew Stafford, although his arm's a bit dodgy at the moment anyway. But this guy got injured, this giant defensive tackle got injured, and he was walking off, and they were going, oh, this is not good. So Sean McVay's come out to see if he's right, but we'll keep you updated. And then it went to the break, and they go, it's not. And he goes, not tiddly. Look at this guy. You going to cry about it? He said, how many people does he need to take off? Oh, you're walking on your foot. Is your foot all right? Jesus Christ. And then it came back on and goes, well, he's the defensive tackle is badly injured. So all our thoughts and prayers with him. And we'll keep you updated on how he's going.
So really he's just like pussy.
Yeah, they were basically like pussy right through the air brake and came back on.
Hot mic.
And I've been trying to find it. Because I thought this was great stuff for the ACC, but they've done a fucking full blackout on it.
Oh, yeah.
You can't go back. It's not on the. I went back on it to try and find it. It's not on the. It's not on the replay.
CG Palace social media blackout.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, after the game, hey, you guys know that you were on." Internationally, everyone could hear your shit the whole time.
That's what used to be like. Remember when you used to take the Australian cricket feed?
Yeah.
Remember that? And they used to go to break.
Yeah.
And they used to go to break in Australia, and they obviously someone's turned a mic off because you can hear it slightly off.
Yeah.
And you'd hear Richie Bennett go, Jesus Christ, get some fucking food up here or something. And it's like you could hear the whispering going on in the background of the Channel 10 same kind of...
Can we get some bacon food up here?
And they just kind of...
Wasn't there an incident with an ice cream that ended up going to air at somewhere in a New Zealand commentary team?
That was Brian Waddle.
Oh, yeah.
So Brian Waddle got ice creams at lunchtime or something, and he picked up a whole bunch of ice creams and stored them in a freezer in the commentary box because he's just such a pig. And everyone knew that he had them in there, so everyone started stealing them. And he got really pissed off. And
but how have I heard the audio of this?
Oh, because they got him on air on Radio Sport.
Right.
I think,
right.
And I think it was Goran and
Darcy.
And Darcy would say, "Have you found your ice creams?" And they're laughing. And he goes, you part of the crew, are you? You part of the funny? Think it's funny to steal people's like."
Oh, so good.
Mark Richardson was involved in that. He was an ice cream thief.
Yeah,
an ice cream thief.
But also, he's kind of the mind of, he looks at it, he would have gone and thought, well, this ice cream, he would have observed it once and then maybe gone back a second time, maybe like a sort of a bird of prey or something like that. And then suddenly he just went, right, ice cream's mine.
Who hoards what ice creams though, really? Come on. Who hoards?
Yeah,
who hoards free ice creams?
There's an unlimited supply of ice creams if you want them. Every dairy's got an ice cream. If you really want one, you can get an ice cream. Every stadium's got a variety of ice creams. You don't need to hoard them. There's more ice creams than we need.
Yeah.
Also, look, Brian, bless him, it was an easy target for us too.
Brian Blessed.
Brian Blessed, what a voice.
He's great in Peppa Pig.
Flesh!
Fresh horses, dude!
Gordon's alive!
Send out Rocket Ajax to bring back his body.
I do not like this news. Bring me some other news.
When we first were allowed back into stadiums, I don't know if you remember this, Matt Heath, we got banned for a number of years in the ACC, for whatever reason, I don't know. But the Basin Reserve got in touch with us and said, can you guys please come back? We love having you here. Come on back.
That was bless them for reaching out to us.
And they did, and they gave us the commentary box right in the nosebleeds of the Robert Vance stand.
How great is it up there?
It was good, but they put us right next to Brian.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And Brian was quite happy that we'd been banned for 2 years.
Yeah, I think he'd worked behind the scenes to try to get us banned a little bit.
So we knew that. And so throughout the day, we organised deliveries to come to us, but go via his box.
Yeah.
So a courier would come with a big bunch of flowers and would send them over there, and they'd say, hey, we're looking for the ACC, and they'd be like, over there. And then the next time it was like a fruit basket would come, and then they would send them over there first to ask where the ACC was. And then we started getting stupider and stupider. We started like champagne, and then we got oysters delivered. And then so outside of our commentary box was just all these flowers, like we'd had given birth to a child.
Yeah, it was
and
great.
he was sitting on the other side, just staring daggers at us. It was the small things.
The second most annoying we were at the other time was when we flew that helicopter in and held up stopped Virat Kohli and team from coming on the field because we needed to land a helicopter in the middle of the field.
Who organised that helicopter? Can we talk about it? So how did you manage that?
So, okay, the story around that is this was the 5th match. This was the first ever series that the ACC commentated, New Zealand, India. And we had a blinding series, the Kiwis. We hammered India. They tied that game in Eden Park. The last game was Westpac Stadium. By this stage, Sir Brian Waddle had written a letter to the CEO of our company complaining about the ACC, waste of money. They're all in suits and uniforms. They're all getting a waste of money. It should be spent on developing young commentators. So we knew that money was the issue for
Despite
Brian.
the fact that we're wearing
Hallenstein suits.
that we had to buy ourselves.
Yeah, $99 Hallenstein.
$99 Hallenstein suits. It was like when New Zealand first fought in wars in the Boer War. You had to turn up with your own gun and horse before they would ship you over to the war. It was kind of like that. It's like, to be in the ACC, hey, this is where you pick up the suit and go and buy it.
Yes. And there's also
great suits. Actually, I stand by the first suits we had with the ACC.
And then the caravan was my friend's from Thames. So I borrowed his caravan. So anyway, we knew money was the issue with Brian. We knew that was pushing his buttons. So we were in Wellington, and I can remember I had a friend in Wellington at Glenn Smith who ran the sales team there, and I knew he had a relationship with the helicopter company there because we'd done a contract.
It's a radio sales team.
Yeah. Right, so I said to Glenn, I was like, hey, what are the chances of contracting a chopper for 10, 15 minutes? And he goes, and he made a couple of calls, and he goes, yeah, sweet as, when do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, we'll film it and everything, and we'll credit them. He goes, yeah, sweet. So I rang New Zealand Cricket, and I said, hey, is there an opportunity for us to land a chopper before the game? Is there a break? And unbelievably, they said, yeah, there's like a 15-minute break between warm-ups and the start of play. If the stadium are happy with it, we're happy with it. And I went, all right, that was easy. So I rang the stadium, and the stadium go, if New Zealand Cricket are happy, then we're happy. And I was like, well, everyone's happy. So we agreed on a time. Matt, Lee, and Jeremy, and I think someone else went to the chopper place.
Yeah.
I was coordinating on the ground with the stadium. Bless the helicopter people. They nailed the timing. Like, they came over exactly at 10:02 when it was supposed to be empty.
Well, we were circling for a long time waiting before we could come in.
Yeah, and then so time came, and the stadium said, yep, you can go. And fuck me, like the Indian team came out early to field, and Kohli is standing on the field with his team, and this red Heli Pro chopper comes down into Westpac Stadium, and I by this stage, I am doubled over laughing. I can't deal with it because it was so ridiculous. And it stops, and the crowd's like, what's going on? Who is this? What's going on? And the doors open, and Matt, Jeremy, and Lee get out in their suits. They're all carrying briefcases as well. So we made them all have briefcases, and they were talking like this, and they were like, just talking like, and they
because when we're in the chopper, Lee goes, brilliant Lee comedy. He goes, you got to act like you're just getting out of a taxi. Yeah. And it's not like this is anything. So we're just continuing our conversation. We're not looking around going, hey, or waving at anyone. We just walk straight out like we arrive everywhere. And I look over to the left as I get out of the chopper, and there's Virat Kohli standing, waiting to come on. But, and then we walk straight through.
But it also, and the chopper, as soon as it dropped you, he was like, I'm out. And he fucking took off. And these guys walked straight off the field, and I had the door open in the caravan, and they just walked straight into the caravan, and just shut the door. That was it. So the crowd were like, "What the fuck?" But I told Sky that we were doing it. I said, "We're landing the chopper," and they were like, "Oh God, this is going to be good." They said, "Someone get a camera on the radio box where Brian is." Yeah. And so they did, just for their own amusement, and he was fucking teeing off in the radio box. Slam. There were papers flying, the fists flying on the ground, because we held up, in his mind, we held up the game. And then
and he'd already accused us, even though everything was contra and we're paying for our own stuff, he'd already tried to undermine us within the company that they were spending too much money on us.
And we're getting choppers and
we turn up in a chopper.
And the best thing about it, he didn't get a car park pass that day. They forgot to give him a car park pass.
Oh, no.
So he had to park in the public car park and pay, and we got choppered in. It was poet. It was beautiful poetry. Anyway, so that's how that started. That's the background of the chopper.
Did Virat, after you guys walked into the caravan, did he just go, what the fuck, and then just carry on fielding, or did he just?
But I guess maybe that would happen. He probably thought we were concrete magnates or something. He'd go, this happens in India. Like some assholes with a bunch of money can just get anything to happen.
You're the Lalit Modi of New Zealand cricket and business.
He's going, I've fucking seen this bullshit before.
Modi and his mates.
But it was very funny.
Too good to park in the car park and walk down the concourse. They need to be landed right in the middle of the field.
And we must have looked over at the caravan and thought, I better connect with those guys because they're pretty important.
In a 1972 shitty caravan.
And a mere couple of years later, nice wicket there, good take there, nice wicket, good bowling from lovely Trenty.
They need early wickets.
17
they need
for
early
one.
wickets.
But just a few years later at the Ritz Bangalore, I shared a swimming pool with Virat Kohli.
You did. Opposite ends of a 50 metre.
He'd have a good rig, wouldn't he?
He was looking good, actually.
Yeah, he's got a great rig. Great midi too.
Fucking dangerously steamed at the Ritz Bangalore, actually.
Just constantly.
Can't believe we were unleashed near cricketing royalty like that.
Did he ever, in the Under-19 World Cup, he was captain, and he was kind of man-child with a bit of a monobrow. I think he's groomed himself now, eh?
Oh, yeah.
How cute are those pictures with all the young players.
Yeah.
The young Kane.
He's like a little pup.
Yeah, little pup.
Old puppy Kane.
Wide on of the week for you, James McOnie. What gave you a wide on? Did Fozzie give you a wide on?
Oh, it was just all about that test match, wasn't it?
So
Holy
good.
shit, that test match was the best test match I've seen for probably 4 or 5 years.
I reckon it was. It was such a fucking good game.
Is it because
redemption?
Is it also because you came in with zero expectations as well? Is that a little bit of that?
That's part of it too. But did you both feel that, oh shit, I might need to watch this one live when normally we're like, we don't want to work. Yeah, I watch it live too.
Yeah,
and everything that we said, this is why I back Fozzie now, because everything we said was right. Like, we dominated the forward pack and we dominated the middle of the field.
Counted the rolling maul.
We straightened the attack. We did all this kind of stuff we hadn't been doing.
We identified some problems and they went away. We told them to go away. Think about what you've been doing.
And they went away.
And they went away and did it.
That's all you can ask.
That's all you can ask. Jason Ryan, revelation as a forwards coach. Also bringing in guys, I am Groot. He's a pup.
He's a monster.
He's a pup. He's a baby seal.
So he's more South African than he is Kiwi.
He feels. I'm waiting for them to claim him. He doesn't. He hasn't come home
with a name like Groot.
You are ours now, Groot.
And we stopped. We stopped just throwing the ball over the sideline on the extra pass, and we stopped getting bundled over the sideline. We actually had some attack because we were straight in the attack.
But also we kind of, because we negated the aerial assault, the bombs, the box kicks. They actually had to run the ball as well. Yeah. So they ran the ball. There was suddenly there was open field running. And you look at Rieko Ioane, best test match in ages.
Agreed.
Just Richie Mo'unga threw an intercept, but still came back to actually boss the game. Normally that would shatter most players. It's like, oh no, I fucked it up. And then he's just like, nah, I'm Richie Mo'unga. Give me the ball. Let's go.
He had more time because the forwards were more controlled, so there was so much more time for everything to happen.
This is true, Matt. It's good rugby now. It's true.
And how's bloody I love Finlay Christie. Oh, he came in.
Well, we have to counter the edge. We have to counter the edge because they bring that hooker on, that flamer. So we've got to fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
Do we bring Tom Robinson in and win the whole thing?
We've got a lot of good halfbacks, don't we, in New Zealand? That's one area where we've got depth.
We do, because we've got the Fakatava batting in the wings, and then we've got Brad Weber if we need him. We've got TJ Perenara. There's halfbacks are looking good. The other thing about that wide on test is we were behind quite a bit. Like if you watch, I watched the replay the other day, which you hardly ever do anymore. Yeah. But because it's such a good test and you know that we win, watch the replay. And it's like 72nd minute when we actually take the lead again. Yeah. I think it's Havili's reach out try, the reach around.
What's happened to him? He was about 100% better.
Revelation.
So was Ioane.
Did someone just come up to him and say, a couple of pointers? Yeah. Like a couple of pointers.
They're all on death row, that's why, this is what happens.
And I love
Fozzie's sitting on like a whole lot of fireworks.
Yeah, he's Guy Fawkes.
He's got, and then there's Havili. It's like, oh no, they've strapped some bloody fireworks on me, right up my ass. And so it just ends up that all had a fucking rocket up their ass. And
bloody old dog roll in a good spot. That's where you need dog roll.
Shit, that was good.
How dog roll? This is my impersonation of dog roll.
How good was dog roll? Just before he scored that try, dog roll.
Yeah.
If you watch the replay, he is convinced that one of the All Blacks has scored a try. and he's celebrating by doing the full He-Man.
Yeah.
Yes. And the ref's like, no, try. And he's like, going, yeah, what? Yeah.
He thought Artie had scored. And he complained for quite a long time.
And Finlay's like, Colin, get it back into the game. Stop celebrating. You're celebrating. Stop. And then he tried to cover up by immediately, when he realised it was going to go, come on, guys, what are you doing? Zone in, what are you doing, guys? Come on. And then he scored.
And then he scored. It was so good.
Scott Barrett's face, there are two faces that are definitely not poker faces in that team. One is Scott Barrett, the other is Quinn Tupaia. Quinn blushes when he drops the ball. They go to his face and it's like, oh. And then you've got
people go red up the neck.
Goes red up there. And then for Scott Barrett, it's like he was protesting for during quite a crucial part of the game. Like he was like, well, come on guys, let's go upstairs. Are we going up? You know.
So the All Blacks,
off the arse.
So the All Blacks are meeting again in Christchurch. Do you think Ian Foster is going to walk back into the changing room for the first time and say this?
I'm not fucking leaving.
That's a Wolf of Wall Street, right? So did you guys put his face on there? It didn't.
Yes.
It didn't quite gel. I've got that same program. I paid for it.
Yeah.
It's used it on Crowd Goes Wild.
Face swap.
It doesn't like Fozzie's face, although I used it for one of those ones that a bit similar to. Remember a ACC fan sent in the
lovely Trenty one.
Yeah, the lovely Trenty one, and I did it with that when he was looking at Dalton Papali'i, and Fozzie was Bradley Cooper from A Star Is Born. But having said that, we did use a song the other day. Taylor Curtis from Crowd Goes Wild said, "Are you using I'm Still Standing by Elton John?" I went, "No, but I am now," because that was perfect. It's like exactly what it is. He is.
I'm still standing.
But we did the face swap, but the people that worked was we put Riku Ioane on the guy in the front of the crowd, and we had Sam Cane as the guy in the front of the crowd of Wolf of Wall Street. That worked.
Yeah.
But Fozzie's got an unusual face, and it doesn't go on Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, it's a very wide face.
Yeah.
It's a very round face. So if you've got like a
Skinny
thin
on
face,
around.
it's skinny on around. It's hard to do. So
Yeah.
if you might need to look for it might work on a Ray Liotta.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, it would work on a Jeff from Curb Your Enthusiasm very well.
Well, this is pretty much what we do at the ACC. We sit there and think of memes in advance, because the other meme we had going, if he was going to get boned for Razor, we had the Jerry Maguire scene of Tom Cruise leaving the office and grabbing the goldfish.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
So we had that lined up if Fozzie was going to go, and then we had Wolf. I'm not fucking leaving!
I've got some footage of a snake that someone's added robotic legs to, and
I heard this on the radio.
This is child abuse. Not child abuse. This is animal abuse.
But I'm sure it's a meme. I'm just waiting for the situation. If it gets overly complicated with the coaching arrangement at the All Blacks, I'll go, look, this.
It's a disabled snake, so the snake can't slither anymore. Is that right?
No, the snake's fine. But it's just saying that, snakes lost their legs 150 million years ago, and it's just giving them another go. Just see what it's like.
Right.
Are you scared of snakes? Have you encountered snakes? Either of you?
I hate holding a snake. They're like a big muscle the whole body. It's so weird.
They should be wet, but they're not.
No. I live next door to a python called Clyde, who wrapped himself around the hot water cylinder in England. You allow pet snakes, massive fucking thing. I don't know how many meters it was, but it was huge, and it freaked me out when I saw it wrapped around the hot water cylinder, because all you see is scales.
Yeah.
And then when I met Clyde, I enjoyed Clyde, and I thought I got on quite well. Helped them move house, put Clyde in a duvet cover. Took him down the stairs and moved house with Clyde. I was in charge of Clyde.
What do you feed Clyde? Like rabbits?
There's
rabbits and shit.
Rabbits and rats and whatever you can get your hands on.
Like frozen chickens.
Chicken. If you take a chicken, like how we go and buy stuff from the supermarket, and you're thinking, oh, this will be good. That's Clyde for the week. Just a big old chicken.
Just a big skinned chicken.
Yeah.
Ooh, Clyde.
Clyde just basically demolish it. But the other ones were called Bam Bam and People's Pop. Clyde was a big python, so it was a strangler, so not a biter.
Yeah.
But not really programmed to strangle you.
But, you didn't know that, though.
But the others, Bam Bam and People's got a bite from, because my fear of snakes was cured by Clyde, because I love the snake so much. And then, but Bam Bam and People's gave me a little nip, and I went,
so were they your flatmates, or just live next door?
Live next door.
Oh, fuck that.
In England, yeah.
Fuck that. Attendance required for this weekend's.
I've got a massive python living in my pants. What?
Can I touch it?
I'll wrap it around your hot water cylinder any day.
Does it feed on chicken, frozen chickens?
No, stuff only goes one way.
What's going on this weekend?
Ooh.
There's no international sport, is there? There's a bit of cricket. I think the
Wawas.
second ODIs, the Wawas on Friday night versus the reverse Cowgirls.
That's international because they're New Zealand, the rest of the teams are Australian.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. The pre-season continues for the Wawas. A bit of cricket, the second ODI is on this weekend as well. But NPC,
We're flushing this ODI, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. This ODI we're watching now, it's not good.
Does it look like it might rain? They showed someone in a raincoat before.
Well, the run rate required is 6, and they're only going at 3-4-5. So New Zealand's in this, and Trent Bolt's bowling very well.
There's another 45 overs to go, though, Matt.
Yeah.
NPC, following much NPC?
I love the NPC, and I was just going to say, obviously we're Mulu fans here.
Good win at the Seamanhof.
Yeah, we had a good Seamanhof.
Yep.
We wiped the Seamanhof Stadium, and do you know that you were excited about that stadium, but I hear that it's been called that for quite some time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why.
Because somebody went na on Twitter, and I went, oh, okay, right, well.
Twitter, I don't
know.
Who cares? It's only interesting when we notice it.
Exactly right.
And no one ever called it Seamanhof, though. They just said Northern
As a
Event
lewd
Centre.
name by itself on a stadium with no one clapping one hand in the
Yeah, do you think
tree falls over in the bush and no one's there.
Do you think the media just didn't mention it because it was too rude the last few years, and then someone has, and now it's Seamanhof?
Yeah, they've tried to whitewash it.
Apart from Waikato playing at Pukekohe tomorrow against the Steelers, that's exciting tomorrow night. Friday night, sorry. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, I think, makes his NPC debut for Auckland on Sunday against BOP at Eden Park.
Oh yeah,
I think there's a bit of Tuivasa-Sheck in the house.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, Tuivasa-Sheck, the guy doing the shoey.
Has he been banned?
Well, he hasn't been banned.
He's been unbanned.
He was never banned.
But it's funny because he was trying to run a line on it. And look, I'm not going to judge him, but I think apparently the issue was he was running a full camera crew. He wasn't doing it for his social media shits and giggles, was he?
No, we had
Crowd Goes Wild there.
Yeah.
We were the ones doing the story on him, and we gave him a branded shoe with Crowd Goes Wild on it. I need to talk to Joe Jury about using a dated photo. He didn't use the updated.
So this was just a
CG
fucking media.
Crowd Goes Wild.
This was just
you love your branding, but where's the Crowd Goes Wild branding?
Well, that makes it. I've even got less respect for him. So it's just a media fucking TV show BS.
No. He does it every single time. We just got on board this weekend and went, "Hey man, you're our guy."
But he got kicked out for your camera crew then.
Yeah.
Well, it was partly that camera crew, but it was overzealous security, just seeing the attention and all that sort of stuff. It was a bit of a Geordie Barrett scenario at the MCG. Just one security guard giving him the verbal ban.
Can you clarify? Is he doing a proper shoey? Because the first game, the Warriors' homecoming game, he got rumbled by having a plastic cup in the high top.
He's learned his lesson.
Has he?
Yeah, he said you can't get away with doing a fake shoey. I learnt my lesson from the plastic cup.
Yeah,
and it can't be your shoe either. It's got to be someone else's shoe that may or may not have tinnitus.
Well, famously, the CEO of NZME, Michael Boggs, did a shoey out of Lee Hart's John Bull at a pub once.
His dogs bark.
Oh, yeah.
Lee Hart's dogs bark.
Oh, my God. I can't believe that. I mean, look, Boggsy was away from work for a couple of weeks after that, but nonetheless, it was...
I think that's how the COVID started.
So the shoey guy, what I love is it went all the way over to, obviously Lee Hart starting COVID, but it went all the way over to Australia where they were complaining. You know how all their players are always on podcasts over there and they've got their own sort of... And one guy, is it Jai Arrow, goes... So we're not allowed to have any fun anymore. Like this, I love that shit.
That's such a good line.
It is. It's like, what's going on? So no fun anymore? Is that what we're saying?
Well, apparently you're not allowed to be in a cubicle with someone else. You're not allowed to come out of a cubicle. Two guys, like.
So we're not allowed to have any cocaine anymore. Is that what we're saying?
We don't believe the fairy tale of what they're doing. I believe that he got a bit sick. He just bought a house. He was going in there for a vomit. He needed someone to hold his hair back. And we've all done it for girlfriends at New Year's. They just needed to hold the pony back while he had a vom.
Hey, look, we've all been there. I've been busted in a cubicle and a security guard has banged the door and go, "What are you doing in there?" And we'd quickly drop our pants and he'd bust the door open.
As a league player, would it be better to drop your pants and pretend to be having sex in there rather than the drugs? You're
No.
like,
Well, that's the reason
did.
why. The reason why is they can't is because 7 of their teammates would not play with them ever again. So you have to actually say.
So they made the calculation.
Yeah,
Is this
so-
drugs?
yeah.
Is it drugs or is it?
Oral sex, and it's like, can I be gay? No, it can't be because then the team is decimated. We won't have
Because if
anyone
it was
to
us
run out
three in
the
there,
weekend.
we'd be immediately starting a daisy chain.
Oh, totally.
Brushing the cocaine on the floor and just going hammering toms and
Exactly. And I'd say
a BJ from my mate. Okay, get out.
That's all we
it's
see.
just- It's a simple reach around. You know the drill.
No nose Kai in here. It's a full rainbow situation.
Yeah. And then that's the thing. They didn't want to go rainbow situation because that's a grenade in the team.
I don't know if you saw that. It also said, did you see that a person at the Warriors having the booger sugar live? Very dangerous to have the booger sugar in the stand at a sporting game when the camera's panning across the crowd.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's like, dude, that's why you should go to the cubicles with another male and
What event
pretend
was
to
it?
have
What
sex.
was it? What game was that?
It was the last game, just gone on Friday night, and a little bullet into the neck and a little
Yeah.
like that, and
Oh,
so
He was just right on camera and right in focus.
Oh, no,
like-
it was a shocker.
It was like it would been like, like if you were trying to premeditate a shot where at about just over 2 minutes in, 3, 4, 1, go to camera 4. Can you on that go? Have you got your shot? That was like, but it was just bad luck.
Also, everyone goes, why do people go to the toilets to take drugs? That's why. That's why. Because otherwise you get caught on live TV.
By the way, it's kind of like you've got to love what's his name who got done for the cubicle, who bought the house from Palmy North, the fullback, Kalen Ponga, Kalen Ponga.
That's what he was celebrating. He's celebrating his house.
He's celebrating, but also it's that whole sort of thing where everyone from Palmy's like looking at him going, Kalen, come on, mate. Like this is because that's the whole thing. He came out looking a little bit. It didn't look that sick actually.
It was funny because he wasn't wiping
his
This was the
mouth.
first time witnesses have been brought in to say someone's not drunk because they were going, his dad's going, he'd had a few too many drinks and he was just needed a help in the toilet and he was having a vom and he was going, he wasn't drunk. but if he'd been accused of being too drunk, every witness would come out and said he was really drunk. But it served the purposes better to say he wasn't even drunk. He didn't need a spew. He didn't look like he needed a spew.
But all his old mates from Palmy are now texting him or WhatsApping him going,
Hook us up.
I'm coming over. Hookups?
Yeah. Don't be stooly on the stooly mate.
mate. Exactly. When I came over there, we just went for beers. What the fuck?
Where's all the booger sugar?
So, he's got a lot of questions to answer in Palmy.
Another wicket.
The one thing that I was going to say is, yes, it's a wicket, and it's right down the throat of Steady the Ship.
He ain't going to drop that one.
The great thing about Fozzie staying as coach is it means that if we do lose, we can play the Muppet Show theme.
Yes,
he's still
this
alive.
is true.
So we have to embrace the fact that even though Fozzie's gone, Fozzie's still there, and it probably has ruined our chances of breakdancing at the World Cup or whatever. This is still good for the ACC. We've got Fozzie, we've got the beer. The beer is in. The beer's in play.
The beer is in play. The beer is back in the Muppet Show. He's been signed up for the rest of the year.
The reboot of the Muppet Show, it still works.
Yeah.
Still works.
Yeah, it does.
And we can add other characters as well.
Yeah.
Because, you've got...
Sam the American Eagle in that press conference yesterday was quite something. The chairman.
Who's the oldest Muppet? Who can be Joe Schmidt? A sort of wise old Muppet.
Well, that's
Waldorf and
Waldorf and
Statler.
Statler. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'm trying to think on stage.
What about that freaky one called New Zealand? There's one that's called New Zealand.
Oh, yeah, that's guy. He's in the band.
He's fish.
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
He's a fish-throwing fucking weirdo.
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but it's Jason Ryan, Miss Piggy. Does that make Joe Schmidt Kermie?
Well, potentially. What about, they've got the Swedish chef as well, and you got Ralph, the piano player.
Who's Beaker?
Beaker is Andrew Strawbridge.
Yeah, he'd take that actually. He'd go, fair
You
enough.
guys need to do a full Muppet Show face swap.
Yeah, that's correct. Hey,
Yo, have you face swapped Fozzie with Fozzie yet?
yeah, I don't think you can do face swap with Muppets though.
Well, give it a go.
Yeah, we'll give it a go.
Give it a go.
Hey, don't forget, we've got a Makita worksite Bluetooth radio to give away. They're worth a couple of hundy. All you have to do is jump on wherever you listen to the Agenda podcast, rate, slag us off in a review, give us 5 stars, and you're in the draw. We're going to draw that out next week. So Just 5 stars. Slag us off, and that Makita Worksite Radio is all yours. Should we go out on it?
Well, I think we'll go out on it. We'll go on it.
Okay.
This is for you, Fozzie. Welcome back.
It's the Muppet Show with tonight's guest star, Mr. Joel Grey.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the light. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppets of the Night.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.